Oh yeah. I'm sorry, let me do that again. Oh yeah! First time reader chat, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people on all spectrums. Howdy do! I am Ryan's brother Dan. Ryan is not here tonight. Let's all give him gentle winks and pinches on his booty, and let's make him think that he's feeling thistles on the soles of his feet.
All the love and hugs and kisses.
But I am Ryan's brother Dan. I oh gosh, I had something here. Well, I'm a transparent fool. I'm a peasant and a boy, ignorant boy. With me is Tom, as always.
Hello, and I will use them. I will.
Yeah, use them, baby. And our first time reader, Josh.
Hey, guys.
Hi. We're doing a little bit different format, guys. We're not gonna go page by page, line by line, character by character, as we normally do. We're going to try and approach this book in a more broad manner. So we're doing 6 chapters today, chapters 1 through 6.
A lot of chapters.
Chapter 1 through 4 is all Rand.
Yep.
Chapter 5 is Matt.
Yeah.
And chapter 6 is our dark. And not just dark friends, our chosen.
Oh yeah, and it's the snake or the viper and the square, because that just screams the shadow to me.
So good. That's a cool. Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, but I'm confused by it a little bit.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. Rand is training hard in Andor. He's going against 5 dudes. They're like, what
to the chagrin of pretty much everyone there, they all think he's an idiot, including Bashir, all the maidens. They're like, what are you doing, you
They're like, don't
idiot?
do this. Bashir throws a knife at him. He stops it with the power, and he's like, see, you're just going to do that every time.
MaTsDaGgerX.
You're not going to do that. MaTsDaGgerX. Josh Rocks. Hashtag Josh Rocks. Thank you, MaTsDaGgerX. Your kindness is only surpassed by your ability to charm animals.
It's true. Very true.
And we do get some cool sword forms, I guess. We get Lion on the Hill. We get Arc of the Moon. We get Tower of Morning. We get Grapevine Twines. We get the boar rushes down the mountain. We get Parting the Silk. We get Lightning of 3 Prongs. Okay. And we get the old classic, the river undercuts the bank. I don't know. That's a cool little array of sword forms, I guess. If you can picture them. I don't know what Lion on the Hill is. I'm just picturing Mufasa. He's like
just laying down, lounging.
One day this will all be yours. You see those zebras? You can eat them whenever you want. Really, Dad?
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Mufasa, or was it what? Oh, there was a hyena. All right. He's Rand is jumping all over the place. Actually, here Rand has pretty good way of just traveling around. He's pretty subterfuge a bit about it too. He is currently in Andor. He's hanging out with the Kyrians and the Terrans. They are all planning on taking on
Fael's dad.
Ilian. Yeah, Davin Bashir. He's the one who throws the dagger at the heart. He's like, I could kill you now. He's like, you won't. You need me, you big galoop.
And I like how they throw in there, because Rand is like, by all the laws in the land, I could kill you now for what you did. And Davram is like, well, if you did that, my wife wouldn't like it too much, though. She'd probably take all the men and go back to hunching Taim. So it's like I like that they threw in there. That's like they still want to hunt Taim. Like they just threw that in there that they still are focused. Like that's their second thing from Rand. And then who shows up at the end of the first chapter?
Yeah. That should be a drinking obligation every time they part some silk, right? Mm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bashir is like also pushing for the Aes Sedai. She's like, you need some Aes Sedai on your corner. He's like, what if I told you I have like half of them wanting to be like my best friend? He's like, oh, those rebels. He's like, they're Aes Sedais and Aes Sedai. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but will the countries follow them? Will they take the tower back? We'll never know.
We'll never know. And we also see that Rand is also dealing more with the voice in his head than has occurred before.
Like normally,
He says, quote, the more Rand learned of the one power, the stronger he became with Sidene, the stronger Lews Therin's voice became, and the harder Rand had to fight to keep a dead man's thoughts from taking him over. Later on, he even channels. And it was like, wait a minute. I probably did that, but I don't remember.
Right? Yeah, did I do that?
Yeah. So what do you think? Is it pure madness? Is it real, Josh? What do you think?
Do you mean, is it really, a past personage coming through his mind?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Right.
What a shitty
I don't think
existence.
this is the madness of Sidene. I think this is his dragonness. I don't think this is related to him going mad from the taint.
Okay. All right.
I think this is the nature of him being the reincarnate of.
Oh, the madness is real, Numan Garden. The madness is real.
Hey, just because you're paranoid. Yeah, I agree. But
Okay.
he is dealing with these things. These memories are real. And if this is a person who is in his head, it seems like this Lews Therin is not having a good time, man. Lews Therin is...
Well, Lews Therin is himself sort of insane. And we know that from the prologue of... Is that the first book? Second book? First book.
First one.
And I think it's interesting. The one in relation to this, when he does meet Mazrim Taim at the end of the chapter, and he's like, "Oh, he's sane," or at least appears so. There's an interesting counterplay here between, like, yes, Mazrim Taim doesn't have another person in his head, therefore he is probably sane. Like, Rand has more than just that one thing to deal with, which I thought was an interesting kind of twist on him being like, oh, Taim can do it, I can do it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he can for the one power, but can he keep this reincarnated soul from taking him over? That's a whole other question altogether.
And he's like, how did you, I like how how they have this like kind of like this give and take here in the beginning where they're like, how, he's like, how did you do that? Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. How did you keep it at bay? And then he tells him he'll teach him how to travel, and then Mazrim Taim teaches him how to test people for the one power, which is weird. Why does Mazrim Taim know that? Like, why would he know that? I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
I guess he's been channeling for a couple
around
years
long
said,
enough.
but,
He's.
Well, let's just talk Taim in general. So he apparently terrorized the Borderlands.
Saldea
Bashir
mostly.
freaking wants to cut his head off.
Yeah.
He did some bad things there, I guess.
He is a Saldean, Mazrim Taim.
And he's 15 years at least older than Rand, it says. He has been channeling, we assume, 10 to 15 years. Rand is like, how'd you keep this madness off? He's like, IDK. Shrug. But he certainly has. He develops. He knew that he knows how to.
He certainly doesn't seem mad, at least.
Right. He does not seem mad, and he knows how to detect things. He knows, like, he's like, geez, like looking at Rand, Tame. What do you think of like their interaction here? I guess.
That Tame seems to defer to him,
Mm-hmm.
and seems to recognize that they're at least equal in power, and that Rand is potentially the Dragon Reborn, even though Tame himself claimed to be. So how do we take that, and what does that mean? I don't know.
Do you think Tame is being forthcoming when he says, "I accept you as the Dragon Reborn"? Or do you think he's just kind of...
I think it's written in such a way to leave you wondering, for sure.
No. Okay.
Right. He says, I submit to the Dragon Reborn. I will serve and obey. And Rand's like, you did that so fast? You didn't even argue? There is, I believe, a drinking obligation. I'm going to ask you guys, but let me set something up real fast. I'm going to ask you guys if you think that this match is, quote, Bashir was still behind Rand, but Rand could feel him stiffening.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Perfection.
Thank you, Kay. So I have
at least we got to see your face.
Even Rand here says, they called Rand the Dragon Reborn and never suspected that some part of Luce Therin Telamon might be inside his head. As mad as the day he had begun, the time of madness and the breaking of the world. As mad as any of those male Aes Sedai who had changed the face of the world beyond recognition. And then he correlates the strength of Luce Therin's voice with his strength in Saidin.
Yeah. That's what he says, like Dan
it's
said
funny.
earlier.
Yeah, and it's funny that he says sword practice and what he doesn't use the word here, but what does he call the flame? The Cody?
The void.
The void. No, but isn't there a
Lan
word
calls
for
it
it
the
that
Cody.
Lan? Yeah, right. I mean, that's who it was learned from, right? It presumably is from the Malakiri.
What
I mean,
I don't
Rand
know.
learned
Yeah,
it from
that I
his
don't
father, who presumably learned it from
Yes.
the Malakiri. But it's interesting that the Cody is a barrier to this stuff.
know. Mm-hmm.
Go on. What do you mean a barrier?
Rand says that here. That was one reason why he liked his sword practice. The absence of thought was a barrier to keep him to himself.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like he
I
can
hear
use the flame in the void to stay away from Luce Therin.
Right. Which is, it's hard to fully understand that. I mean, I guess it's just that there is no thought, therefore there can't be an intrusive thought. But
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something deeper to it than that.
I'm guessing it's a form like a form of meditation. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it seems like a thought practice for sure.
He pretty much says, "Hey, I'm following you because, well, I mean, you're the real deal. You apparently you solved the prophecies. All I had to do was do one prophecy, man. All I needed to do was one, and I would have been in, but I just didn't do it.
Right.
You appeared in the sky, and that's the only reason I lost to you, Bashir, in that fight where I was killing you. I forgot what fight he said it was.
Right. Wait, he's like,
so,
yeah, I saw you up there.
So was that the battle where Matt blew the horn?
Correct.
Yes.
And that, I thought that was, but weren't they also fighting the ones with the Sanshen during that as well?
Yep.
So Mazrim Tame was fighting Bashir at the same time that Rand was fighting the Sanshin.
Yep.
In the same place?
No. You could,
but they were
able
close
to see
enough that
all over the
Bashir
world.
could. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All over the world?
Yeah, well, that's why throughout the last couple of books,
there's the paintings of it.
There's paintings everywhere. Yeah, in every country that he goes to, they're talking about the battle in the sky, even in the White Tower.
But really, I didn't know that they could see it from everywhere. I thought it was a localized phenomenon.
They talk about being able to see it as far. I want to say the people in Andor say they saw it. I don't think we have an on-screen person in every.
But did they see it? I don't think they saw it at the White Tower because those paintings were from far away.
That's a good point.
The painting in her study, it said it was brought in from somewhere else. It wasn't made in the White Tower by someone who witnessed it from the White Tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was somewhat localized.
That could be just because there's no one there to paint it. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I imagine that it was not visible like from the other side of the planet, for instance, or from the southern continents.
Well, Saldea isn't that far away from.
Right.
Actually, if you want, we could pull up the map and we could take a look.
Right.
So
yeah.
let's
Why
pull
don't
up
we do
the world
that?
map.
Hello, Iris Bear.
The whole Randland map. There we go. And actually, hold on. Let me get out of here. Let me put my warder cloak on. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's like the cloak of invisibility.
Yeah. So you can see like Arid Doman is here. So Fam is like right there. You can kind of see the word Fam.
The one that looks like a big penis.
Yeah, and then Saldea is
right there,
like
next
around here.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That thing is hot.
That it could have been seen.
I see why they're really stingy with those things. They're hard to maneuver around, and they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, and if you have your friend who's a Weasley in there, he's probably gonna like make it all sticky with chocolate and stuff.
Yeah, it's chocolate. I pray that it's chocolate.
So here's something I kind of wanted to point out, and I touched on it before, but this is something I've held for a while, is that I don't blame false dragons for believing that they are dragons, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't know that you're supposed to be born on the slopes of Dragon Mountain, whatever. And Tame addresses it here. He says, quote, I might have been the one. How could I be sure otherwise? I can channel. I'm strong. What said I was not the dragon reborn? All I had to do was fulfill just one of the prophecies. And Rand says, like managing to be born on the slopes of Dragon Mount, flex. And he goes, victories write history. Had I taken the Stone of Tear, history would have shown that I was born on Dragon Mount of a woman never touched by a man, and the heavens opened up in radiance to herald my coming. That's the sort of thing they say about you now.
That's the sort of thing they say about Josh now.
Yeah, about Josh now.
I don't know about that.
But also, like, you have to think about it, like, if you're a man who can channel in this time, if you're not the Dragon Reborn, then you're just some random dude who can channel. The beanie.
I feel sorry for that kid.
You're just some random dude who can channel, and you're going to get gentled. So if you're not so you might as well hope you're the dragon.
Right. I love how at the end of chapter 1, when Tumad enters, he still only talks to Lord Bashir.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, what the fuck? Like he's not in charge here.
Rand has to learn how to delegate. Well, we see that Rand delegates. He takes right off the bat, he takes Tame. He's like, you can channel? Cool. Come with me off to the farm. Mm-hmm. The farm. I think that's what they called. well, never mind. That's what they call brothels.
Funny farm.
That's what they call brothels in Nevada.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, because it's the bunny farm.
It's or ranch. No, I guess it's a ranch. Yeah,
The bunny ranch. It was the bunny ranch. That's what it was. Yeah,
ranch.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was wasn't there like a late night HBO show about that?
Maybe. Was it like where they talked in taxi cabs?
Taxi Cab Confessions. Oh shit,
yeah,
that's
that one was good.
cool.
That one was horny. When I was like young, I was like, "Ooh, are my parents asleep? Are they asleep?" All right.
We used to have to. We didn't get HBO, so you had to turn on the channel like, and it would be all fuzzy, and then it would come in good for like a second. Yeah,
you're all a nipple, dude. I saw a nipple, but that's when you get like really, you turn into a bat and you hear everything. You're just listening like a bat. So, but Rand and Tame have kind of a cool little conversation. He's like, all right, they talk about Bubbles of Evil, talk about Balefire. He's like, do you know Balefire?
Tame knows how to make the heat not touch him, which I thought was interesting point.
It seems that way, huh?
Yeah. Which doesn't use the power we learned, right? But nonetheless, it seems like people who can channel have a better time with it.
Maybe it has something to do with being able to, the concentration
Focus.
that comes with channeling.
But then you would think anyone who can practice the Cody would be able to do it too.
They'd have to be taught it or shown how to do it.
Or know about it.
Yeah, but Rand doesn't. He sure sweats still. He's like, God damn, this sucks.
And we saw Moiraine and Suan practicing it in New Spring, which was interesting. You know, it's like a whole breathing exercise and a focus that they have to do. They talk about it, and I don't remember the exact process of it, but it was interesting.
And I think we see that one of the Forsaken does it when they enter the dark places too. Staugul.
Yeah, because it'll say it's hot, not that it bothered him.
So you're saying he was hot but not bothered?
I'm hot. I'm hot but not bothered. I'm a hot mess, which I guess that is bothered. I guess, huh? Yeah.
So what was the
you might not be
relation?
bothered by it. Right.
It doesn't bother me.
So one question I had was, what is the relationship between Luce, Theron, Telamon, Samael, and Demandred?
We can assume that they were at
all
least
close?
colleagues, if not peers, if not colleagues, right?
Right. And I know there's something later because what's his face? Not Grendel. Demandred hates him, right?
Samael hates him too.
Oh, Samir.
Because he was shorter than him.
Right.
And he got a scar on his face.
And they talk about how he interacted with him, right, Tom?
Yeah, and they mention it in the prologue here that Demandred was always one step. He was born the day after Luce Theron, and he was always like, one step behind him in fame and discoveries. And
Tom, you imagine that being a big deal? I'm like, oh man, you were born a day before me. Oh shucks,
that means you're better than me.
But then when you're like 80, I can be like that one day. I'm like, I'm only 79. What's up, old man? Ha 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 ha.
Well, this just got me thinking.
500 and
599. Yeah, you're right.
Part of it was it just got me thinking about how different it must have been for Luce Theron when other men could channel and the taint didn't exist. Versus Rand's that is, I guess we don't know if it's a new phenomenon within all of the turnings of the wheel, but certainly it's new within the ages of this turning that Rand's incarnation as the dragon is very different from the prior one. Not only because of the taint and because of the boar and because of who he is being an Aiel and also the Karakaran, but also there are these non-parallels with the prior time of there being other male channelers and people who are equally as powerful, presumably, who could have also filled this role, right?
Yeah.
Correct. And I don't know if we've heard anything yet in the book series that suggests that there was prophecies for Lews Therin. But it's either Semiraj or Grendel who mentions that it was Grendel who mentions that Rand al'Thor is the reborn soul of Lews Therin, who was the reborn soul of the avatar of the Savior from before.
Right.
So I don't know if we hear yet or at all. I mean, I'm just shrugging here. If there were prophecies regarding Lews Therin as well, maybe the dragon of the Second Age was going to be born on February 29th. And what's his name? Demandred was born March 1st. And he's like, oh shucks. Who knows?
But that year it was a leap year.
It was a leap year, exactly. Of course it was, Tom. Of course it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who knows if Demandred is like, had the same feelings that Tame does now, being like, oh, I could have been the dragon. I don't know. I'm strong, but I just wasn't born on the right day. Or, I don't know. Anyway, is this thing on? I'm just they go to the farm. There are 27 men and their families waiting to be tested.
The other thing that I just wanted to say briefly before we get past this, this thing I was talking about with the parallels between Taim and the Forsaken, and Lews Therin Telemon's voice making that obvious in this passage, right? Is like he compares Taim to a Forsaken. He's like, have you done these horrible things? I just thought that was, again, interesting reinforcing of the difference between the prior world and this one.
Yeah.
Tame's a little taken aback that Rand doesn't know how to test.
Which I think is weird. Like, why would that be something that he knows?
He's like, you can travel, but you can't test. What a weirdo. And he's like, is this all you want me to do? And he's like, yeah, this is all I want you to do. I'm busy. I just met
teach them how to kill things really fast.
Just met you, but this is your job. You're hired. Train these people. And the first person he tests, what the fuck do you know? He can learn how to channel. He's not even close to feeling yet, let alone being able to. Oh, bye, Tom. Hopefully he'll come back. Let alone being able to, actual get to the point to burn down a house or something. But he's there. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of them because you attract weird types like this.
Oh, right. We shouldn't forget about the seal.
Yeah, oh, correct. So he does grant. He's like, here, to show that I'm cool, so you can trust me. Here's this thing. It's a seal of the Dark One. Rand now has 3. He knows of 3 that are broken. He has no idea where the 7th is. And
why does Lews Therin's voice tell him to break it?
As soon as he grabs it, that's what Lews Therin goes. He goes right to break it, gotta break it. And Rand was actually even like holding it above his head, like, and saying, gotta break
and
it.
repeating it. Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, you okay? You okay, my friend? He's like, gotta break it. Okay, no, I was just freaking. Never mind. I'm not gonna break it.
I fixed it. It's fixed.
I thought you were breaking the seal.
No, I was. Oh yeah, smash it, break it, shatter it. No, I was,
Gotta break it.
that's
So,
how I
mean,
fix my.
I
Internet.
don't understand that. I don't understand why Luce Theron's voice tells him to break it.
Because he's crazy.
What? Yeah, I was gonna. So what is your thought?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Okay.
really can't think. I guess we did learn that Luce Theron kind of turned at the end, right? He was turned either by the madness or whatever to kill his loved ones. Did he go over to the dark side? Maybe.
Interesting thought.
And if so, is his soul as reincarnated? I mean, I don't know how that works. Like, is your reincarnated soul that the person that you were at the end of your life?
Okay. I mean,
It would
so you think he
reasonable?
went over to the shadow before he died?
It certainly seemed that way in the prologue.
Okay.
Well, Josh, let me point out in when the Dark French, the Forsaken chapter happens. There's these lines. Quote. Ishmael claimed the struggle had gone on since the creation, an endless war between the great Lord and the Creator using human surrogates.
Yeah.
It goes on to say, quote, Ishmael said that it had happened in the past. The Creator's champion made a creature of the shadow and raised up as the shadow's champion.
Which we've talked about many times. I was glad to see that fully spelled out.
It says here more, he avowed that the great Lord would almost as soon have turned loose there into the shadow as have broken free. Maybe Ishmael had been a little mad there too, but there had been efforts to turn loose there.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that mean then that this is a dark friend in Rand's head? Okay.
That's what I mean, again, that's the only thing I could really think of that would make him want to break it.
Remember
It's
also that Ishmael cures him of the madness just before he kills himself in the prologue.
He does?
Yeah, so just as the prologue ends.
Oh, right, because he wanted him to suffer.
Yeah,
he wanted him to see that he had killed his wife.
Yeah. And his
son. Right.
There's a couple little tidbits we learned here that Rand was 5 when Karri died. I don't know if we knew that from the books necessarily. And I guess that's about it that we learned from them.
Yeah, there's not too much in there.
And Rand's like, all right, go train him. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace. And
I always love the Forsaken chapters, and I like the interaction with Tame and Rand, but there's a lot in these first chapters that's just like rehashing of information for people. It's like, if just in case you forgot, this is how the one power works, and Sidene works like this, and Sidar works like that, and this does that, and this is what a bubble of evil is, and it's like,
right. So when they're talking about the IEO headbands, and it's like Rand still didn't understand why half of them wore these headbands with one half
and
of
can't seem to ask,
and describe the whole thing, the Aes Sedai symbol and all that stuff. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's cool to mention them, but I don't think we have to describe them.
Oh yeah, Billy. That begs the question. I just noticed MaTsDaGger and them. They were talking about Billy Zane. Did you ever see the Winter Dragon thing, Josh?
What's that?
It was so years ago, before they made the television show, another company had the rights for the Wheel of Time, and in an attempt to hold on to the rights, they slapped together a shitty, what they called pilot episode, but it was just literally just like a 3 or 4 minute fucking thing that they put on channel, FXXX, literally,
FXX.
at 2:00 in the morning. And Billy Zane was in it, but it was basically the prologue of Eye of the World.
Lord of the Morning.
Yeah. And Billy
I've
Zane
never
was
seen it.
Ishmael, and it was hilarious. So you should Google it.
It's good.
Yeah, it's not good. It's terrible.
It's IEL humor good.
Yeah, okay. It's B horror movie good.
What do you, Josh? Did you like Rand's joke?
Rand's joke?
Yeah, he told a joke.
I don't get that joke even a little bit.
I do. What the heck?
Where is it?
Nice.
I did not.
All
get
right,
it.
so they were talking. So Rand's like, all right, a rabbi, a priest, and an Irishman walk into a bar.
The way he launches into this joke makes me think of like an anime, like when characters in anime like over embellish things and like, you know, the screen goes all streaky and they're like, bah! And then the guy has the chicken, bah! Because he like,
and then everyone's
he scares the shit out of the maidens. Is how fast he jumps into it.
Yeah, because they're like, you never laugh. Do you even have a sense of
Oh,
humor?
this is when the
like,
maidens were telling the joke and he told one back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, all right. So
I watched it live, Mistress Dovie. I was there.
Who has a rooster? The rooster gets in a tree. He gets his friend Will. He's like, let's go get the rooster. They're climbing up, but every time the rooster gets higher and higher and higher. Right when they're near the top, his branch cracks and he falls, passing Will on the way down right into the pond.
I'll catch you.
Will's like scurries down, says, "Here, take my hand." And he's like,
I did get it. I did get it. You didn't say hi to me as I went by.
Yeah.
Basically, as he was falling.
And that's funny. Oh, because he fell past him.
Yes, he fell past him, and he didn't say hello.
I passed him just a moment ago in broad daylight, and he never spoke a word to me.
I thought it was funny. I mean, it's not a great joke, but
it's not a great joke. But I think it's the perfect joke for Rand to tell. And then they're like, so what does the pond have to do with it? So it's about the pond, right? And they're like, no, it's probably about the rooster. What is this joke about? And he's like, jokes are like sausage. If you have to explain how it's made, it's not good.
I kind of wish Rand was like a pun guy. He liked puns. But the IEL would probably find that funny.
They might, but it's all about the wetland of humor is strange, according to them. They're all about. They were laughing about shit because this guy did a big ninja kick and started talking trash. A Thunderwalker was like,
yeah, that was hilarious.
Did you hear what a maiden does? A maiden does, and they're like, oh yeah, did you hear about a Thunderwalker? And it was like a little like insult battle.
Yeah, that's why why maidens use hand talk. Like that's literally, right. I love it. They're having like snap fights. It's fantastic
because they can't stop talking. Yeah. The other one says, do you know why they're called Thunderwalkers? Because even when they're standing still, you keep looking to the sky expecting to see lightning. What does that mean? It's not funny.
Because they're so loud when they walk, and IEL are supposed to be so like ninja-y and quiet.
But the only Thunderwalkers would see honor in guarding an empty tent. I imagine all the IEL went, oh, they all put their shufas up real fast. Oh, someone just got killed. Rand goes and talks to the nobility.
You know why I take a pencil to bed every night?
Why?
So I could draw the curtains.
Let me get the lead up.
You're welcome.
Draw the curtains. Shucks. That's better than it should be, Tom.
You're welcome.
So it's Terrans and Kyrians in a tent with the Wyrm on. They're all weird. They don't like each other. And he's like, yep, we're going to do my shit. First of all, there's people that left. And he's like, all right, you guys left. You guys are forming a rebellion. treason. I'm gonna take their lands away. I'm gonna take their titles away. And if I see these motherfuckers, I'm gonna kill them.
I like how I like how they said that taking the titles away was worse than killing them.
Right. Right. Did you want to say something, Josh?
Just this bit about time being to the Borderlands, to the Blight before, and having killed Myrddraal and Trollocs.
Mm-hmm.
That would kind of surprise me. That he had been to the Blight.
Like, why did he go to the Blight?
Yeah.
Yeah, and question. How and when? I mean, wasn't he? I mean, I guess he's been channeling for 15 years, but
yeah.
How long ago did he claim to be the false dragon? It had to have been recently, within the last 2 to 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might think. I don't think we hear exactly the time frame. It's probably in the book somewhere, but yeah, you're probably right. It's probably.
It just made me wonder if he was going to Shao Ghul. Like, what other reason would you have to go to the Blight? Than to traverse it to get to Shao Ghul.
The only thing I could think of is he's in Saldea, and he's trying to hide from people that are chasing him. Aes Sedai, the Saldeans, they won't chase me into the Blight.
A nice vacation at Malkier Lakes.
Yeah. With that weird
sea monster
fucking cephalopod with hands for instead of suction cups.
Hey, people still go to Florida, and there's alligators and stuff that'll just drag you into a pond.
Ah.
You know how they track the pythons now?
How's that?
They put trackers on other animals.
Oh, so when they eat them.
If they stop moving for a certain period of time, they'll go and they'll find a python and capture it and kill it.
That sounds like an IEL
really
joke. Like I should be slapping my knee if I was a wise one. I'd be like, God damn it, Josh, that was a good one. Let's see. So they're saying, all right, we're gonna take Ilion. We're with you, boss. The whole push is to Ilion and Samael.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much saying it right out front of everyone. Well, not everyone, but he's like, I'm getting Samael. He's in Ilion. We're getting him. And he has a plan. He's trying to be tricky because it ends up that he actually went and talked to Matt just like 2 days ago. But we'll get to that in just a second. They have like like 200,000 or 300,000 IEL right now.
A lot.
Right there. They're like, why don't we just forget these stupid wetlanders with their oiled beards and let's just do this. We could do this with just like one plan.
You got to put product in the beard. Got to put product.
Yeah. Tom, I agree. I understand. There was no offense intended.
I took offense. I'm gonna write Robert Jordan a strongly worded letter.
You know what? That is fine. You know what? There's nothing wrong with oiled beards. Let's drink. Robert Jordan, you're wrong there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink to you, Tom.
All I know is all the IEL beards feel like coarse pubic hair. They don't put oil in them.
See. And RJ had a beard.
Yeah.
What? He had
a pretty epic beard.
He didn't put a little oil in there and no conditioner.
Yeah.
Did his face feel like a pubic nut? Is that what we're learning?
But you'll have to ask Harriet if you ever see her.
Man, too bad we can't just go rub his face like today. Death sucks.
Sad.
Anyways, talking about
on that note, do you know why it's hard to buy Do you know why it's hard to buy Darth Vader gifts?
They're called GIFs.
Nah.
Why?
No, it's because he could feel the presence. Because of the Force.
I like that.
You're welcome.
Let's see. There's nearly 200,000 spears gathered for the IO, it says. But here's it. Tell me, is this a drinking obligation, guys? It's not really sexual per se, but quote,
I'll make it sexual, don't worry.
Sulin had some blunt.
Had some blunt? I mean,
just out of context right there, that phrase.
Yeah.
Had some blunt.
I mean, she's got the sticky icky. What's wrong with that?
Sulin's the two rivers connect.
Yep. She's got the sticky icky. She's got the sticky purple punch.
So what is this visit that Rand is waiting to make to Bashir? Carefully casual visit.
Well, throughout these first couple of chapters with Rand, he's talking about how, and with Matt too, it seems like they're planning something.
Right.
But we don't know what it is, but it has to do with
We do kind of learn that it's about sending Matt to falsely...
The Plains of Moreo, yeah.
Yeah, like lead the Forsaken into thinking that he's going to attack him.
Oh, right there. You can see it.
It says,
right
all right,
Plains
so
of
it said, were you going to inspect them this afternoon? Has that changed? And Rand sighed, suddenly weary. No, that hasn't changed. I'll be there if I can. It was too important to change, though none but Bashir and Matt knew. He could not let anyone else think it more than a casual manner, a useless ceremony for a man growing, taken with the pomp of his position, the Dragon Reborn going out to be cheered by his soldiers. He had another visit to make today, too, and that was to Weirmar.
Yeah, and just before that, Bashir was fishing for information about Matt because he said, that plan that you and Matt came up with was amazing. So that's probably what that's in reference to. Also, Bashir is not subtle, trying to fish for information on Matt.
No, Bashir, the man who threw a dagger at the Dragon Reborn's heart to make a point.
No, he's not subtle at all. Who did he study under? What books did he read? Where did he come from? Why does he know everything that he knows? Why?
He's too young to have studied. Did he study with Algamar? Oh, he's so smart.
Algamar Jagad.
And there is a little drama between Avienda and Rand, but that's to be expected. Whatever.
Yeah, so that was before he went through the first portal that happened?
Yeah, she's like, Rand, wait. And he's like, nope, zip. He's like, I'm going through a tunnel. I can't hear you.
Yep.
There was, and I guess Rand does talk to Tame. He says, I'm going to cleanse Sidene. And he's like, whoa, that would take a lot of power. You ever hear these Sarangrials? You got one? And he's like, don't you fucking care what I got. Don't worry about it. I got my own
instantly
stuff.
Like, I'm just going to kill you, I guess. I just have to kill you.
Kill him. Break it.
It's a good, it sounds like a chorus from like a death metal riff.
I guess we didn't really change the format that much, but I guess we will rip through it a little bit. We got all through Rand, and I'd like to take maybe like a 5-minute break.
Up to you, man.
I can, and then we'll hit the Matt chapter and the Forsaken, if that's cool with y'all. We're at an hour right now, almost 55 minutes. So yeah, let's go ahead and take it. We're gonna take 5 if you guys are cool with that. I gotta go take care of something real fast.
I'm gonna go drain the lizard.
So
it's hard to do when you don't have a penis, though. There's nothing down there.
Well,
You
you know
have
what?
to pee perpetually.
It just, yeah, you just ring it out, and it's weird how much pee there actually is there. But let's go ahead and take 5, and we'll be back for chapters 5 and 6. They're cool chapters. Don't go anywhere.
Did we finish 4?
Well, you tell me. We pretty much did.
I mean, it's basically him just talking to the fucking idiots. Wyramon.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
And then he talks to the male Aes Sedai, or Aiel, right?
Yeah, they're like, why are we even dealing with these wetlanders? And he's like,
Oh,
don't worry
no.
about it. I need them. Don't worry about it.
Right.
I miss you, Mistress Dovie. Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
Bye, sweetie.
Mwah.
Well and wake. All right, yeah. Let's anything else about Rand that we wanted to mention here?
I think we're good.
Okay, we jump to
whiny.
Matt, the next chapter. Matt is getting there is some Rand in there too that we'll talk about, but let's go ahead and let's do this one. Bye guys, see you in a minute.
environment they're in.
Let's go again. Wow, 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 I'm waiting for the bus. I'm waiting with the rest of us. We're all getting on the bus to drive.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
What? There's no Josh.
No, Josh. No, it's all right. Yeah.
No Josh. He's an empty chair.
You know what, Tom? Let's spend a minute. Let's get a little closer, Tom.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, that's such a difficult question.
What's your second favorite movie? I'm putting my ear real close.
I gotta say, I don't know.
Mine's Goonies too. Whoa, that's amazing.
It's I don't know what you did last summer. I don't know.
Oh gosh, with Nev Campbell.
Yep. No, that's true.
I loved her in Party of Five. I did.
We're terrible.
Oh gosh. So
Debbie Does Dallas. That's my favorite movie. Debbie Does Dallas.
Deborah requests permission for consent to do Dallas. Usher's back.
Yay!
I was like, is this a pre-recorded segment?
Nope.
That's how good we are. All right, yeah, let's jump into chapter 5. It's called A Different Dance. We got dice. You know what dice means?
Mod.
It means, oh, little Bo Peep. I fucked her sheep.
Little boy Blue. He needed the money.
Not that dice man.
Oh, okay.
That's the other dice man.
I got it. He's got the 5 crowns. The 5 crowns up there on the chapter too.
5 crowns. He's at the Golden Stag in a town called Maroni. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, you're in Maroni.
Oh, okay.
When the moon starts to shine like you've had too much. All right. They're right across like the river from a bigger place. I don't have it right. God damn it. It's like Erangel or something like shit. I'm bad.
Marine is it's
right. It's right across the river.
It's near. Oh man.
Do you get your map?
It's in Kyrian. Yeah, but it's not on this map. I don't know if it's on this map. Oh yeah, no, there it is. I marked it. Ha!
Awesome.
Thanks, Pass Tom.
Is right across from Erangel.
Yep. Right there.
Well done earlier, Tom.
Yep.
I'm so happy earlier Tom thought of that.
Yeah, see, I marked it. He went from Andor to the farm to Marine, right there.
That is awesome. I'm trying to get you out of solo layout here, though.
It's okay.
Oh,
whoa!
All right, all right, there we go. Actually, you know what? What's wrong with that one?
Ah!
How you doing?
Whoa!
Do we want to do that? No, I got
like CNN correspondents.
Tom's eyes are creepy.
They are. Look into my eyes.
You know, Tom, I have to disagree. I think that the president really needs to blah, 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 blah.
Hi.
Matt's digging the tune. He's listening to music. He's there with his band. The band of the yellow
Pants.
Wow.
the band of the yellow pants.
The band of the yellow toe.
The
Sisterhood
it's the
of
band
the
of the red
Traveling
hand.
Pants.
There are 6,000 men in this town under Matt's direct generalship, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because at the end, he's like, all right, we're splitting at dawn. It's already 2 a.m. You better get these motherfuckers going. And they're like, okay. And all of them went. But he's in the meantime, he's dancing with a nice little serving person named Betsy.
Yep.
Hot to trot.
He saves a little boy. He busts the guy in the nuts.
Yep. He beats the crap out of some hunters of the horn.
He does bust the dude in the nuts. Is this a drinking obligation? Quote. With luck, dancing would slow her tongue a little.
Yep.
All right, okay.
Okay, my question was about the Athan Miere ship.
Okay.
And what happened with this and why we learn about it. Presumably it will come up again later.
It's mainly just Matt having like a random memory at this point.
Well, no. Well, actually, there is an Athan Miere ship. The sea
in the harbor, and it leaves in great haste.
Yeah, but the learning about what the sails mean and all that nonsense is from Matt's random memory.
Right. Him knowing that it was a wave mistress and a sword
because it had 4 sails or 3 sails or whatever.
Right.
Another drinking obligation quote. Matt laid a finger across her lips.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We do okay.
It's not supposed to go across the lips. Anyway,
across her lips.
What were they waiting for, though? Is the question.
It's a good question.
And why did they leave with such haste?
Yeah.
Well, what we see is that there was a boat. There was a he whipped out his little looking glass. He looked across. He's like, oh. It looks like there's a smaller boat that they're rowing rapidly over to them. And he could tell that there was a wave mistress and a surf master or whatever. Surf master. I like that. It was Duke Kahanamoto. And they were across at the bigger town, Erangel. They weren't at.
They weren't. Okay.
At that little town. And in fact, he's like, yeah, get me a boat because I want to go talk to them. But the
last time he was on a boat was with Tom, right? With
I don't know.
The sea folk. I'm trying to remember. Was that Athan Miere that he was on the ship with Tom with? No, that was a merchant. That was when the girls were on the ship with the Athan Miere.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct. That was Elena and Nynaeve.
So I wonder if this is going to... The only reason I could think that he would write this in here, other than that little bit of memory, which doesn't seem that important, is that it's somehow going to come up later. Either we learn what they were doing here or something. I don't know.
Well, the only thing that's happened so far is Rand is jumping all over the place, and I guess that would be the only thing that other people know.
But why would the sea folk be on the river? I mean, that's another oddity, right?
Yeah,
it's like they shouldn't be there for really. So who are they searching for, or what are they collaborating in?
They continued to go north instead of south towards the sea. So they were going further from the sea as well when they departed.
Right. Yep. It makes me wonder if they're looking for...
Who do you think they would
be? The girls? Are they looking for Rand? I don't know.
Do you want to talk about Matt and Rand, the meeting that they have? So Matt kind of reflects on it. It's all in italics. It's all journal work or something. But Rand did indeed visit Matt.
Night First Rider.
Tamanis, I think, may have mentioned it, or someone said, didn't Rand didn't you just talk to him lately? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But he was there yesterday, but it was like a half day earlier. And he says, quote, Rand tells Matt to make haste slowly, Matt. He has to see it coming. Everything depends on it. Later it says, he's just jumping back and forth. He starts talking about the Forsaken. He's like, where are the others? Where in the pit of doom? I need to finish them all off. And then he's like talking about Dragonsworn and Masana. He's like pacing the whole time, does not look Matt in the eye like at all. Doesn't even listen to his responses, more or less. He says,
how do you know you're in love with a woman, Matt?
Hey, yeah. How do you know you're in love with a woman? And then he just goes on. He says, I'm going to do it, Matt. Every land united before the last battle. I'm going to do it. Rand's voice had taken on a feverish tone. Matt's like, sure, man. But one thing at a time, right?
And we know that the White Cloaks, interesting bit about the White Cloaks here, trying to keep him out of Amadisia. We know the White Cloaks are trying to draw Rand out.
Yeah.
And the Aes Sedai as well.
Right.
Everyone has their own reasons for wanting to throw a leash around Rand's neck. Pardon the pun.
Rand also said, murmurs, mumbles. No one should have another man's voice in his head, Rand muttered.
Yeah, and Matt thinks that he's reading Matt's mind about having hundreds of men's voices in his head.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And because neither of them communicate to each other, neither of them.
Classic men of Randland.
Yep.
But it turns out to be kind of a harrowing meeting for Matt. He is not comforted by this at all. And from what we gather from Matt's point of view, this is not. All right. So Rand, a couple times already, people have looked concernedly at him and said, are you okay, bro? Do you want to sit? Do you want to?
At who? At Matt?
At Rand. Bashir did it, and because when
the Aes Sedai or the Aiel do it, the main
right.
Do it.
And so now we see it through Matt's point of view, and it is a rambling madman to a certain degree here.
Yeah, it's like they forget for a few minutes that Rand could possibly go crazy at any moment, and then they're very, suddenly reminded that he could be crazy right now.
Right, and we didn't see it in the first 4 chapters because it was Rand's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But now we see what Matt experienced, and it's like, holy cow.
We do see it. We do see it when he almost crushes,
right. But I mean, imagine seeing it through Bashir's point of view.
Right.
Suddenly, Rand, his eyes would have probably bulged and anger on his face or whatever, whatever the fuck. But something like where you would have seen, do I need to intervene here?
But Bashir wouldn't, because we learned that Bashir has followed a madman before.
Yeah, I love that story.
It was a really cool story, yeah.
Right. Bashir was just like, hey, we might not want to do that, buddy, right? And he's like,
have you ever dug grave for full-grown oak trees?
31 full oak trees.
You ever suck dick for a week? Anyway. Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget. Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
All right. So does the phrase his spear so hard straight between the fellow's legs?
Yeah,
sure.
I'll take it.
Right.
Sure.
All right, hold on. Let me. All right, thank you.
I'll take it just like that guy took it. Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Ryan, for making new stuff. This your production value is awesome as always.
As per usual.
So there we meet a little boy. We meet a little boy. He goes by the name Oliver.
On the list now.
He looks like he's 6, but he's actually 9.
Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, so he's a little orphan boy named Oliver Twist.
Yeah. Well, no, the twist is there's no I. That's the twist.
Please, Matt, I want some more.
Yeah.
What?
I like how Matt knows how to speak to him. Like he's like, oh, this kid's basically little me. So I'll just be like, oh yeah, you got to have a bath, but someone might not let you have a bath. And then he's like, now he wants.
He's like, you know what? She's probably not going to even want you to do it, but tell her I said it, and no one can stop you.
And he's like, I will use this power to bathe.
Also, some beautiful empathy from Matt, where he says, "quote Oliver shows some real autonomy here and some self-possession." And he says, "You talk to me," Oliver shouted, rubbing at his face. The tears helped him rearrange the dirt. "You talk to me, not over my head." Matt blinked, then bent down. "I'm sorry, Oliver. I always hated people doing that to me too. Now this is how it is." And it showed some real empathy there. And, you know, it was probably one of the best examples of communication that we've seen on page ever. Yeah. I'm sorry,
and
Oliver.
It's I not to get too far off topic, but it's I love the way Rafe in the TV show kind of leaned on. Oh, good night.
Bye,
Asham. Like kind of like leaned on Matt's empathy toward children early on. Like they really showcased that, and you could see it here. I mean, this is one of the first opportunities you really get to see it in the books, but I like the way they did it in the show too. Anyway,
this is a damaged little boy. The IO killed his papa. His mama got sick and quote,
he buried her.
She got sick. I buried her where there were some flowers. Yeah,
that's heart-wrenching.
And then he's like, "Fuck you all. I can take care of myself like a true badass." And they're like, no, don't worry about it. Go here, go with this fine man. And you're gonna go get a bath.
Weirman's like, what the hell? What?
He's like, "Clean the boy." He said it was more dirt than skin. He was saying. And so Matt's just kind of like going to all the bars and like checking on his men, making sure everything's cool. He's just doing the rounds.
Yeah, I like how he has the thought of, you know, he thinks about how he's running the camps and stuff like that are from the past memories. You know, like he inspected something different. He made sure to inspect the men every day, but he made sure every day it was something different. So like, you know, and, you know, he has the groups of his soldiers policing the other soldiers, and he mixes the troops up from different battalions. And it's really cool seeing him lean on that, you know, the voices in his head that are giving him the information. It's a very different stance on it than Rand has. He listens, like Matt listens to these voices and, you know, does the things that he kind of is learning from.
Yeah, he's just like,
there's a difference. It's not a voice in his head. It's a memory.
Yeah.
And that's very different.
Well, hold on. But he's also like, I hope I don't go into Old Tongue, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Well, at least I didn't deliver it in Old Tongue.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but there's still that fear that he'll just start battling in a language he shouldn't know and doesn't know, you know. But now he does. The battalions themselves are divided into like cool nicknames. There's Edorian's Hammers, 500 dudes of them. The Carlaman's Leopards, Riamin's Eagles.
What is this? fucking Legends of the Hidden Temple. The Silver Snakes.
Hey, listen, Gumshoes. Oh no. That was the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego show.
Yeah.
Listen, Gumshoes. If Matt had a rock handy, he would have thrown it at them.
Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world?
Mm-hmm.
But right at dawn, they are all fucking on their way out. They leave, and they are making a ruckus to leave. But then they're traveling for a month. They're hoping. Matt's like, I'm hoping to go 35 miles a day, boys.
Oh, man, sucks. It's rough.
Yeah, on foot for a lot of them.
For a month. That pace for a month.
Yeah, that I mean, like that's what going to war used to be.
Yikes. So hopefully it won't stay hot the whole time, I guess, right? And then finally we get, is there anything we wanted else to talk about, Matt, Josh? Besides him hitting on Betsy, did he didn't even get a kiss. He got like a tiny.
And he got it. Yeah, he got like a glance.
A tiny feather kiss. I don't know.
Was it uphill both ways too, Noman Garden? Noman Garden said he used to walk home 14 miles. Uphill. Both ways.
Both ways. No. You know what?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. Let's jump into a pretty bitchin' chapter. We have 3 different points of view of the the Forsaken. This is called Threads Woven of Shadow. And it's this cool ass. A snake.
The serpent intertwining around a square.
A snake ass shit. First one is Samael. Samael is visiting Grendel, and Grendel is having a party, man.
Party down.
She has some acrobats. She got jugglers. She's got people in like the grotto. She has mostly naked servants. She has musicians. She has it all, man. She has like she has the man cave.
Yeah. No one has a party like a Grendel party.
She is Hefner. She's Grendel Hefner.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And tell me if this is a drinking obligation. I'm so dumb on these things, even though I made it up. Quote, she would find a way to slide it in again.
I'll take that.
Okay. Clink.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
If anyone can find a way to slide it in again, it's Grendel.
Yeah. I need to pour just a tiny bit more, so I'm going to jump off real fast. But Go ahead and talk. Let's talk Grendel and Samael.
Yeah. So, well, Grendel I like how she talks about how she only keeps around the best looking people too. And she throws a little shade on the king because he says he's not good enough, not good
looking enough. Right.
Yeah. And then Samael mentions how he thinks she's trying to play him by saying things, and then then when we jump to her POV, it's like I definitely played him by making him think that I think that he thinks it's oh god, they fight with each other so much, it's ridiculous.
Well, actually, before we jump there, because you mentioned Absalom or whatever, the king. So the acrobats there are the king's brother, his wife, the king's youngest sister and eldest daughter. And Samael's like, this is not subtle. How on earth is this happening?
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry about it. No, everyone who he's like, someone's gonna come here and be like, whoa, I know that dude. Because this is all Domani in Eridomon.
Yeah.
And she's like right in some sweet mansion or something, palace
somewhere,
near the Mountains of Mist. She is just there's no subtlety to her, but she is ensconced in using this compulsion. Everyone who leaves, she says, is certain that she is on their side and a supporter. And in fact, she changes her appearance so she looks like some aged Domani woman.
Yeah.
Grendel's going hard here.
Oh, yeah.
She has it. Let's just pretend like, all right, so Trump was president. This was like her being in Washington, D.C. and having Don Jr., Ivanka, Barron, and Jared doing freaking naked gymnastics and stuff right there. And then people would be like, well, I can recognize them. And she's like, nope, I'm going to compulse you. Nope, I'm compulsing you. Oh, you come on in. Compulsion. You get a compulsion, and you get a compulsion, and you get a compulsion. You get.
Well, she was a therapist, so. And she was also very skilled with people's brains, like the anatomy of the brain. We learned that in a little bit too.
We can agree with that, Asha. Grendel is a mood indeed.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So I guess let's talk a little bit just about Grendel. We know that she's in Eridomon, correct?
Right.
We know she's in a mansion or estate of some sort. We know that she is posing as an elderly Domani woman. Kind of like she said it was like you could tell that she was attractive, but she was losing the battle of health or something. So let's say like like a Rita Moreno, like still attractive but looking old, or someone younger.
Grendel? Nah, Grendel's beautiful.
No,
she appears as
she
appears to the Domani Lord as
a frail older woman. Yeah,
like a Jane Fonda.
Yeah, probably like a Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda has coppery skin, right?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, you know what, guys? I was thinking about this. What if coppery skin actually meant it was made of copper?
Green?
And it's just like assume that we knew that they were metal people, because every time they go, oh, there's that copper skin of Domani, and we're like, oh, okay.
What if they're oxidized and they're all just green?
They're all just.
That's what he means.
No, I'm thinking that people are like stealing them for parts. Anyways. So what do we want to talk about as far as the this chosen?
The Samuel one POV, there's not too much more there, I don't think. Other than the fact that, Grendel is obviously kind of having like a little team up with Samael. Like, I mean, they still don't trust each other and there's still lots of shade going back and forth, but she is giving him the information that Nanowzrd said, fuck Samael. He's not here. He doesn't get the information. So there's a little team up there going.
Yeah, we are given the impression that Samael is completely underestimating Rand al'Thor.
Oh yeah.
He's like he's a.
He also
stupid
really
little farm
really
boy.
hates Grendel calling him loose third.
Sure. Well,
An
sure.
ignorant boy, a primitive lout.
Except we're dying. Like Grendel says that several times. Like,
Right,
yes,
right.
except he's killing us. So maybe you
She's
should take
like,
it a little more seriously.
She's like, we should be. She says,
she says something like, "We're so far beyond these people. We're almost not the same species anymore." Something
right,
like that.
right. We're almost our own species, and yet we're losing.
So yeah, I like Semiraj's point of view when we jump to Semiraj. Her thinking about healing people and being stripped of her Aes Sedai-ness, and like they were going to bound. What did she? I forgot the term she used. Bound her. They were going to place her in bounds or something like that.
Right.
And then she would see death coming if they did that. Bonding, yeah, that's what she says. Bonding.
Yeah,
but
so
they were too good of
interesting.
people, and she fled. They didn't think that she was going to flee, but she fled, and that's when she swore to the shadow. Yeah, bind her like a criminal. That's something like that.
Yeah, Grendel right here is actually impressive in how she speaks. She says, "We used to plot," quote, "we used to plot against one another almost as hard as we fought Leaf Theron, yet we were winning before he caught us all gathered as Shia Gul." She says later, quote, "Now we have awakened in a world where we should stand so far above ordinary mortals as to be another species, and we are dying. For a moment, forget who will be nameless, Althor, if you must call him by that name. Althor was as helpless as a babe when we woke." Samael's like sticking by, like he's like the only people that truly follow him in the IL.
Yeah,
every other nation is just they're just conquered.
Yeah, and he didn't even really truly conquer them because they still, go against him. Because of course, to Samael, the only way to conquer somebody is to crush them beneath his boot, or crush them in his fist, or something like that. He says. Whatchamacall, the thing that she thinks about, like wanting to be Nablees too, would be greater than immortality itself. It's an interesting, like they're so power hungry, these fucking idiots. If they just work together for 5 minutes, they would be
Josh,
fine.
what did you make of this? The bind her like a criminal, that whole thing, and then later Semiraj was like, or Grendel was like, "Oh God, man, he really fucking got the jump on me there." Is it just because there was no crime back in the day that they don't know what bind like a criminal? I'm even confused. I read it about 4 or 5 times, like trying to fit. And then when she brought it up, I went back and read it. I was like, what was this whole thing? It's confusing to me.
I'm just gonna say Rapho.
Yes.
It is confusing, and I tried to understand it too. So, okay.
Go back to that paragraph where they say that.
I'm looking at it right now. But what I was trying to remember is, are the two harpists the same as the Shabatan and the
Xiaofan?
Shayatan?
Are these the two she was talking about earlier? The same two?
Yeah, the two, those two are from Shara, the place beyond
the
IO Waste.
Yeah, she just said it was beyond the IO Waste.
Okay, so then a peculiar place they come from, and women who can channel are required to marry the sons of women who can channel. And every one of those bloodlines is marked with tattoos on their faces at birth. No one with markings is allowed to marry anyone without. Any such child of a union is killed. Tattooed males are killed in their 21st year in any case, and cloistered before, ignorant even of how to read.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wondered why she mentioned this and what it means that, because she always says things to place suspicion, right?
Yeah.
Do they bind themselves like criminals? The look of
Well, it
puzzlement
says
flashed
that-
across her face and was hastily suppressed. She hadn't reasoned it out. Few people in their time had ever committed one violent crime, let alone more. Before the boar, at least. She did not admit her ignorance, of course. There were times it was best to hide the lack of knowledge, but Grendel often carried the practice to a fault. That was why he had mentioned it. He knew it would dig at her and serve her right for the useless shreds she doled out. Was he just trying to confuse her?
Because she doesn't understand criminals?
No, it's because of what that means, which the reader doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's what it says. It says that Xiape was Shiboan, a sort of empress, newly widowed, and Shafin was to marry her and become Shibote. Hey, did you see her Shibote? For 7 years, she would have ruled absolutely, then died. Whereupon he would have chosen a new Shiboan and ruled absolutely until his death in 7 years. They have followed that cycle for nearly 3,000 years without a break. Xiaofin and Chaipe insist the deaths are natural, the will of the pattern, they call it. To them, everything is the will of the pattern. But it turns out that maybe the channeler.
There's male channelers too, which is interesting.
Are the ones that end up actually dictating that 7-year and then killing him or something?
Well, the male channeler, the real power, they say, is the channelers behind them, right?
And well, yeah, I'm trying to find it, but it also says that
they call themselves. They live in their own small towns, avoiding everyone else, but supposedly never channel without permission or orders from the Shabote or the Shoban. In fact, they are the real power. The reason the Shabote and the Shoban only rule 7 years.
Right. Does that mean that they're responsible for killing it? Like,
it would make sense. It would be like, it would make sense that if you killed them with the power, it would look like natural causes.
Right.
To anyone who couldn't channel. So
right. And if you're ignorant, I mean, it's the will, the power, which is, oh God, the pattern is God,
And since it's a very Asian, like Chinese, sounding names and stuff like that, so the fact that they just blindly believe in the emperor, the rulers, is very classical ancient Chinese type stuff.
Finally we get to Semirog.
But the other interesting bit is that we see another culture where those who can channel are not culled immediately, but are put to use.
Yeah.
Similar to what we see in, other places that we've met people from. Whether that's the seafaring culture or the God damn it, what's their name? The one it's getting late.
The Shanshan?
The Shanshan, thank you.
I got you.
You're correct. They do kill the males when they turn 21. And they are ostracized their entire life. However, they are utilized and not just instantly put down or something.
Right.
Yeah. And they
And they
almost
channel only at the command of someone.
Yeah, yeah.
But presumably without a collar, right?
Yeah. Which is a mitigating factor for the madness, because we know that the more they channel, that's when the madness comes in. So
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that you added without a collar.
And they also, it seems like they kind of breed the channelers.
Mm-hmm. To keep it from percolating into the regular parts of society.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump to Semiraj?
Sure. Anything else in the Grandel section? Giggity. Oh yeah, Semiraj it is. There's a lot going on there. Like oh man, this is where she's poking the brain. It's really interesting.
Yes, this one's a really weird.
We also find out that the Forsaken don't know anything about the Warder Bond. Like that is an invention of this age.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So the one last bit about Grendel is just, I mean, the point is she was trying to manipulate Semiraj into moving against Rand in spite of the Great Lord's command, right?
Yeah.
Semiraj or Samael?
Sorry, Samael. Yes, Samael.
Yeah. I heard Samael when you said Semiraj.
Yeah, so we're to gather that the Great Lord's command was hands off, don't kill him.
Right.
Yeah,
Let
let the Lord of Chaos rule.
Mm-hmm. And she says, "quote is she would sow chaos till the harvest made Damodred's lungs explode." Well done, you freak. We also learned that her whole deal was immortality, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wants to live forever.
Right.
As is most of the Forsakens.
Right. She wants to live forever.
Who wants to live?
She doesn't necessarily deal so much on the nameless aspect so much as Semiraj does, correct?
Yeah.
And let's do you want to jump into Semiraj now?
Yeah.
Sure.
So Semiraj is a freak.
Glow bulbs, first off the bat. Glow bulbs?
Yep.
Haven't seen those before. They're cool.
Light bulbs.
Glow bulbs. I think my kid had a glow bulb. Oh no, it was a glowworm. Never mind.
I like I could picture it, like it seems like a dingy basement with like a flickering fluorescent light. That's what it seems like.
Like all mad scientist places.
Yeah. It flickered fitfully, but they still gave better light than candles and oil lamps. So yeah, it's cool.
It's AKA a halogen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess she could have just made light. I don't know why she needed a glow bulb, except for just cool.
They probably just had them there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of it is just she's an what's the right word? Anachronist. She likes antiques.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is something from her time.
Right.
That still exists, right? That she can use and show. Well, maybe not show, but
the whatchamacall, the woman that she has and that she starts torturing is an Aes Sedai.
Mm-hmm.
Cabriana Misandes.
Isn't she one of the ones who disappeared that was supposed to be watching the girls?
I know we've met her before, but I don't remember if that. You're probably right though, Josh. Because if she went missing, well, here she is.
Yeah, and I mean, we thought that she disappeared because she was a dark friend, because the other one was.
Well, I remember her in New Spring. She was in New Spring. She's the one that guided Moiraine and Suan to their quarters after they picked the Blue Aja, because she's blue.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is a new string.
Yeah.
Oh, she wasn't one of the two. So I thought she was one of the two who they met in the tavern, who Moiraine met in the tavern, that the badass woman put onto her.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think the only time we see her is in the tower.
Is in the tower. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she did go. Obviously, she's blue, so she went with Saladar.
Mm-hmm.
She went with the blue out of the tower.
Right.
So Semiraj is there with a job.
Yeah.
She is, and we're not really told where she is specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Shayogul.
It's somewhere where Shadar Haran
has all the powers. There. Yeah. So
anyway,
makes you think.
She is there as a torturer. She's there to get some information out.
It's telling when the literal right hand of the Dark One calls you in to torture somebody. Like that's how crazy Semiraj is.
Right.
And she does it she describes it as a net going over the brain and putting some fire and earth right into either the pain or pleasure synapses of the brain.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just she pressed the pleasure center hard. So yeah, that was another one.
Well, and she's able to just like press the pain sensor a little bit and tie that shit off, turn off the lights and leave Cabriani. She's like, well, I'm gonna let her stew. I'm gonna break this bitch. I'm gonna let her stew. Just turn off the light. She's sitting there naked, spread eagle, floating in the air, with like continual, like a mild headache. Well, probably more than a mild headache. Something that's not gonna go away.
Nope.
Goes next door. What do you know? It's her warder. She's like, well, I
love this bit about the Myrddraal being able to use the Edge of Shadow and doesn't use the power. And she herself, along with Agenor, had tortured hundreds of them to destruction to find that out.
Right. Yeah. Right. To learn how it was done. The Myrddraal themselves did not know. She herself had proved that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how they do it, but they can go from one shadow and then pop up in a shadow like across the room.
Yeah. And the fun part about the other fun part about them, the other fun part about the Myrddraal is that they weren't created by Agenor. Like they were a accident, because Myrddraal are randomly born instead of a Trolloc when Trollocs are
really?
Yeah, that's what Agenor says when he's thinking in I forgot which book it is, but it's one of the
during the battle with the Green Man.
Yeah, they're a throwback to the human stock of Trollocs, and they were an accident.
I think it was actually in and there was mention of it in the prologue of this book.
Actually. Yeah, Demandred thinks of it too. Yeah. That's what it was too. Yeah, it's that they are a throwback to the human stock from Trollocs. So it's just like randomly sometimes when Trollocs give birth, instead of giving birth to a Trolloc, they give birth to a Myrddraal, which is just like a happy accident from creating Trollocs instead of Agenor actually.
And that's why they can command them. In the way they do, presumably.
Yeah, that they have some sort of
related.
Well, yeah, but we assume there's not every Trolloc dies when a Myrddraal is killed, but some do. So it's presumed that there's some sort of extra bonding that the Mirrodral does with his like particular band of Trollocs, I guess, that when the Mirrodral dies, Trollocs die sometimes and sometimes not.
They talk about it in Eye of the World, like that they can connect to them, but the risk for that is if the Mirrodral dies, then the Trollocs die, so they don't do it all the time.
So we learn a little bit about the Forsaken here. It seems that there are alliances set up, right? Let's talk Forsaken a bit. So Asmodean, Lanfear, and Moghedien are noticeably absent.
Mm-hmm.
Samael presume that both Lanfear and Asmodean was working with the dragon.
Right.
Which he was right. I mean, Lanfear not so much, but Asmodean for sure, but she gave him Asmodean. Now we have Demodred, Masana, and not Cimmerish. Is that one more? Masana and Samuel.
Yes, Asham. Yes, she was. She was a crazy sadist.
We have the Trinity. There's Demodred, Masana, and the name is who was right in the beginning here? Grendel. Yeah. So we have they were planning their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Grendel has been sharing information with Samael because Samael was invited to the meeting but didn't trust them, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she's been passing off information. I don't know. So anything on what are your thoughts about any of the Forsaken right now, I guess? Where is everyone? Samael's in Ilion.
Mm-hmm.
Moghedien's in Saladar.
Saladar, yeah. Grendel is in
Eridomon.
Demon.
We don't know where Demandred is.
No
Even the Forsaken don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Masana is in the White Tower.
Yeah, we learned that in the Darkfront social, the Forsaken social in the beginning. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I guess that's probably it.
Everyone else is dead.
Oh well, whatever one was reborn is in Shao Ghul.
Yeah.
Oh,
the two that were reborn. Yeah.
If
We know one of them is Agronor.
We know one of them is the Forsaken. Yeah, we don't know who the other is.
We don't know what the other one is. Yeah.
It was kind of cool that you can just torture an Aes Sedai's warder.
She also, I like how she gets scared too when she realizes the warder is dead. She's like, "Oh no, I don't know," because she doesn't know how the bond works. So she's like, "I hope."
She's like, "Oh, I think I fucked up. I had one job. Yeah. Oh no." Yep. She's like, "Oh, she's screaming. Okay, shoo, she's still alive."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, I'd have to wait around here for them to capture another Aes Sedai.
That would have been fucked for me if that girl died and I didn't get anything besides her name. Oh no. Especially because Shadar Haran said, quote, "You will drain her completely, Semiraj. You will squeeze her dry without delay and tell me every scrap that you learn."
Yep. And then she finds her more palatable after she... She finds her more palatable now after she kills her warder too. So that's...
Yeah, she's seasoned.
She's tenderized. She tenderized her.
I think we can all take one more little sip for poor Kaviani. Yep. That's horrible. I mean, anyone tortured to death is that's fucked.
Yeah, well, we don't see her die, so yeah.
That's he was tortured to death with pleasure.
Yeah.
He ecstasied out.
Yeah, he probably went crazy as he died too. It's just, well, we don't see Cabriana die on screen, so we don't really know.
He's like,
yeah, it doesn't seem like she died. But...
Well, because he was all spread eagle, so he was like, he's like, I just want to touch myself. I just want to touch. I just want to touch. Blob.
Do you think he died like his rigor mortis will be interesting, to say the least?
Yeah, pour it out. Yeah, I hear you.
Pour one out for
it's a good
border.
So I was not able. I didn't see while we were going.
There are worse ways to go.
There are worse ways to go. It's true. Where the bit was about the pattern. There's something in here about. Oh, maybe I did find it. It was back a little ways.
What was it that you were looking for?
The bubbles of evil?
I guess that is that where he touched it? Was the bubbles of evil moving along the pattern?
Yeah, that's where he's talking to Master King.
Right. For some reason, I thought there was something else about it later on here, but yeah, I guess not, because I just looked through again.
I think he's just kind of like just rambling. He's like, oh yeah. Oh, and there's these bubbles of evil. Yeah, it's crazy.
They drift along the pattern until they burst. When they do, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Think of them like the bubbles that sometimes rise up in a bog. Only these are rising from the dark one as the seals weaken, and instead of rotten smells, they're full of, well, evil. They drift along the pattern until they burst, and when they do, anything can happen. Anything. Your own reflection can leap out of a mirror and try to kill you. Believe me.
Yeah, I thought there was something about like the dark one in the pattern, but or the Great Lord in the pattern, but no, I don't remember. It might have been from the intro chapter, from the prelude.
Yeah.
It might have. So we hear that we learn that more or less Grendel has set up Samael. She's like, all right, I've directed him right. Randall, Thor, and Samael, they're all lined up, and she's like, I want Rand to die, and I want to blame it on Samael so that the Dark One doesn't like get all pissed at me for disobeying him, but I want this motherfucker out of the scene.
Right.
Yeah. Or
the fewer Forsaken there are, the more chance she has to become the Nameless.
Yeah. Or Rand kills Samael, and either way, Samael's out of the picture.
Either way, Grendel wins, right?
Yeah. Which is just them being stupid again, not working together because, evil.
Nameless must be, man. It's you gotta be the Mac Daddy if you're the Nameless.
Well, if you got eternal
to the Dark One,
if you got eternal life already, what are you going to compete over?
Yeah, it's just it's the stupidity of evil. Just always, they're always looking for the next power grab, not realizing that they're stepping on their own feet constantly.
But it's Nameless.
Nameless.
Who doesn't want that?
I like the idea of the Dark One making Rand the Nameless.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly a possibility, and she has a paranoia about it because she's like, well, it's happened in the past where he's been so I guess Nameless equates to the Dark One's avatar in the last battle.
I always just thought of it as a title, like.
What do you think, Josh? No.
I didn't pick that up. I was just looking to see if it's in the back here. Yeah, it's not defined back here. Yeah, I mean, I know, Tom, what you said before was like it means devil basically in Arabic, right?
Yeah, Iblis.
Iblis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you guys think? Do you think that this 6th chapter, about 100 pages, works?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have about 100 pages for next week. The chapters 7 through 12. We end on 290. So we will do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
5.
Yeah, we'll do 5.
Okay.
We're aiming
chapters
for
in there,
about
too.
100 pages now. We were doing about 40 to 40 to 50 pages we were doing. So now we're shooting for like double the pages.
Yeah. There's some good chapters in those too.
I can't wait.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want to touch on, Josh?
No, I think we got it all.
Okay. Gosh darn it, I didn't have music playing this whole time. I'm so dumb. I'm just gonna. There we go. Guys, this has been On the Way to LeafCast. On behalf of my brother Ryan, I am his brother Dan. This is
I'm
Tom. This is Josh.
I'm Josh. Thank you.
Down there.
We will be back next week talking 5 chapters 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of MaTsDaGgerX. Thanks for joining us as always. We'll be on this Sunday talking about The Forsaken actually with Jansen. So
Awesome.
thanks for joining us. We love you. We're proud of you.
Yeah.
And
And I'll see some of y'all. I was just gonna say I'll see some of y'all on Monday, hopefully, for episode 4 of Mandalorian rewatch
Oh, nice.
on Dragonmoun's YouTube channel.
Have you seen The Mandalorian, Josh?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for the new season starts tomorrow.
Season 3, yep. It's probably available to watch right now.
My kids are like super fucking excited.
Nice.
All 3 of my kids love that show. So
So good. That's fun to
my
watch.
son was talking about it too. And I called him a nerd, and I gave him a wedgie.
have you watched it, Dan?
I have not. So here's the deal.
good.
I mean, so I was big into Star Wars. Like, I watched the trilogy in theaters when it first came out, like New Hope and all. And then once it got, and then I watched the prequels.
Forget about the other 6 movies. The shows are head and shoulders above the movies.
But
Other
then
than the
Oh,
first
yeah.
3.
things got like. Then we had Solo. We had
Well, it was
The
I
Mandalorian.
love
We
Solo.
have. Are we gonna have an Ewoks thing? Like, it just becomes a little too much, and I'm like, I didn't
You
watch
should watch
the last
Boba Fett.
few, so I feel like I'm
watch
behind.
Boba Fett. Watch The Mandalorian. Watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're all really good.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Okay,
Like really.
I
good.
will take those.
Fucking really good.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's his name? Andor.
Andor. Oh god, Andor's so
So good.
Is it? Is it? See, I'm
So good.
really good.
golly.
I mean, the shows are as good
like
as the
Andor.
original 3 movies. If not better.
And Andor is just good television. Forget about Star Wars. It's just
Mhm.
good television. So is The Mandalorian for that matter. But
Yeah, and Boba Fett continues the Mandalorian story, so it's worth watching if you're watching the Mandalorian.
My last Boba Fett like encounter was him becoming like clones and stuff, and I don't know. It wasn't.
No, he's the son of the original person that the clones were made from. He was the first clone that was made without the aging enhancement, and he was raised
Jango
by
Fett,
the guy
right?
Jango
And then
Fett
Boba.
as his son. Yeah, that's who Boba Fett is. And we meet him in Obi-Wan Kenobi as a kid.
Yeah.
It's all interconnected, like really in an interesting way.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with it. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are just amazing.
It's just too much, guys. It's just too much.
It's many hours of entertainment, dude.
But I got so many documentaries I gotta watch still. Watching mobster shit on YouTube right now. All right, we should. No one wants to see this, guys.
Put your pants back on.
I love you and I'm proud of you. Thanks for joining us. And
you.
as always, until next week, run for your lives, or link arms and get punched. Because this is the way of the league.